Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do another reaction video for you, and this one I brought in our lovely consultant to get a Filipino's perspective. This one, it's a short, a guy talking about why he is done with dating women in America. So it's kind of funny, but it captures literally all the essence of dating in the West. So, all right, let's see what he has to say about it.
Guys, look, stop. I'm just gonna go ahead and say this because I've had enough of this shit. Reading the comments and just talking and seeing that nobody's gonna change. Nobody's even gonna get the message. Stop dating women in the United States altogether. I know I said stop. Don't marry a woman. Don't even fuck with them at all now. Okay? Because the thing is, nobody's gonna change, right? Nobody's even gonna try to compromise. Okay? They think that you want to control them because you ask them to sweep the fucking floor in the same house that they fucking live in. And at the end of the day, I was told that, hey, Austin, you're just going through a phase. But let me ask you this. What are you getting out of dating a woman from the United States?
And I'm sure we've all been in those relationships, right? Where, yeah, if somehow you ask a girl to, make a meal or clean up something in the house, they throw out and throw a fit and say, "I'm not your effing maid," and that kind of thing, right? So, what do you think about that? Is that how Filipino women are?
I think in that part, cleaning, cooking is what we grow, and that's how we used to do every day.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing special.
Yeah, here you notice in the Philippines, most of them are raised that way. It's their culture that they have very specific roles. It's like they still realize that men are men and women are women. So a lot different. All right.
In the country. I just got interviewed. A dude asked me if I met a good chick here in the United States, would it change my mind? To be honest with you, knowing me, I'm not even gonna give it a shot. It's a waste of time. Because now even if I go on a date, every time I spend money in the United States, I think about how much would it have been in Brazil and how much fucking money am I wasting. I go to Austin, Texas. I love Austin, Texas. I go over there to hang out for 3 days. That money it costs me to hang out in Austin for 3 days pays for 2 months in fucking Colombia. Why the fuck would I date over here in the United States? First, you gonna spend all your money here, and then you gonna get a motherfucker that can't even her pH off. And don't give me that bullshit of I'm picking the wrong one. All y'all pH off damn near. Especially if you under 25. Y'all shit. You probably watch this right now, your shit stink. But yeah, just stop dating in the United States altogether. And that's what's gonna make women wake up. They don't need a man, they don't need us. Let them die alone. We go to another country, find you a woman, come back. Shit, don't even come back. They're gonna have to comply and they're gonna have to rethink. And then before I go, another thing, I talked to my homeboy. He said, "Oh, those women in South America, they just act like that because they're basically second-class citizens. They're not treated like shit. The same shit that women here claim to be bullshit." In fucking Iraq.
All right. A lot to talk about in that little clip right there because I think he kind of captured several good things. One is the difference in the expectations in American women. They think that you're going to we've probably been on those dates, right, guys? If you're watching this in the West, that they expect a fancy dinner, they expect a bottle of wine, they expect $12 martinis before and after. You're dropping $150, $200 sometimes on a date here. And in the Philippines, they're pretty happy with like Jollibee, right?
Yeah.
That's like the favorite here. Like
my all-time favorite.
Jollibee. Yeah, fried chicken at Jollibee. You know, they're pretty happy with that for 200 pesos, 250 pesos.
And dried fish.
And yeah, dried fish, if you can tolerate the smell of it. So yeah, the expectations are just totally different. Or honestly, Starbucks. Like that's a very, very acceptable, 150 pesos for a coffee is very, very acceptable. And that's what he's getting at. Like he spends in 3 days in Austin, Texas, where you can spend a month living in Colombia. And it's the same way here in the Philippines. I haven't lived in Colombia, but I've watched a lot of videos from a lot of different expats living there. So that's what he's getting at. And it's kind of sad, honestly, that literally thousands and thousands of men are moving here and all over the world to get away from the craziness over there, because it's gotten that out of control, and eventually it's just going to be childless cat ladies, men hating women left in America.
Maybe you can't even drive. But okay, so what? They are women that are being so oppressed that they cook for their men, and they have sex when they want to, and they sweep the floor. And then what do you have back here? A motherfucker that don't... It's the day and night difference. It's a complete flip. Get the fuck out the United States. The women here ain't shit. I'm calling it for what it is. If they shit, bring 100,000 of them, put them all in the group. You can't even get 20 of them.
All right, I think my man summed up the entire dating culture in the West in a minute and a half. So yeah, get out of the West, move somewhere. It doesn't have to be the Philippines. Like, he apparently goes to Colombia and Brazil, and there's a lot of places in the world where the women are polar opposites than the West and don't expect to be catered to and actually put in zero effort. We'll do some more videos like this, because I've seen a lot of really funny ones where they go around, the interview girls, what should guys bring to the table, and their laundry list is 20 things. It's kind of the funny, he's got to be 6 foot tall, he's got to make at least 6 figures, meaning over 100,000, and he's better have a 6-pack of abs, right, the 3 6s, and meanwhile they're 300 pounds. So it's kind of, and bring nothing to the table. And then you ask them, well, what do you bring to the dating table? Well, I don't bring anything to the table, I'm just me, right? Like, I'm a woman, therefore I should get the best. And you compare that to the Philippines, for example, and it's totally different. Like I said, it's 100% the opposite. And the women in America, I've seen lots of videos, we'll look at some of those, where they talk to women in America, for example, and they say, oh, the only reason they want to go to these countries is because the women are dumb, they're uneducated, and they don't know any better. That is not true. That might be true in some parts, just like it's true in some parts of every country on the planet Earth. But here in the Philippines, for example, most women are educated. They have college degrees. They learn English in school. She speaks perfect English, as well as any American does, honestly. So it's not like you can have a conversation with them and they're somehow these unintelligent, monkeys living in trees is what they want to represent it in the West, of, where they just want to go there so they can oppress women, and like we're a bunch of controlling maniacs that want to move here. Mm-hmm. So right, I mean, I would say that's accurate. Like all the women that I've known here are pretty.
Yeah, and also as a woman, there's nothing wrong being independent on yourself, but don't be too much or be entitled in your own opinion. Mm-hmm. Like woman is woman or man is man, like that.
Yeah, I think that's true. Like I said, they have very, very old-fashioned values here, and we used to be that way back, probably our parents' generation, like how they grew up in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. They had very different roles. So, all right, guys, maybe that helps. And if you're in the West, get the hell out of there, like my man said here on this video, and start looking for better alternatives, because trust me, they're out there. All right, see you guys.